everybody. Good afternoon. This is our app sponsor up, and this is our group. I'll make introductions at the end of the presentation. So how many people in this room have ever had a really great idea for, say, a meetup group? Raise the hands. How about you have a hobby or idea, or you work with a company, maybe you have a food truck, and you didn't know how to market yourself? Any of those? Photographers? There we go, we got a few of those. Well, wouldn't it be great if there was a platform where you, event hosts, can meet people looking to get their brand out? Well, now there is. So basically what Sponsor Up is it's a app, and it's it's very similar to Tinder, where we take matching profiles from a host or an event host with people looking to sponsor. And it's the same thing, you swipe right if you like them and swipe left if it's not the best match. And you can start that conversation and seeing if you guys are a match made in heaven. So we use, so it's Tinder, you make your profile, and we use Jambonz, so you can send a direct SMS text, and you guys can start having that conversation about if your guys is aligned with event-wise and what your group and then the sponsor.
So part of that would be group discovery, and I'm thinking meetup. Obviously, the meetup groups are always looking for sponsors. They need things like venues and food and drink and that sort of thing. And on the sponsor side, companies have an interest in sponsoring just to get their brand out there, and also a lot of times recruiters have a budget for sponsoring events. So part of this has to be like group discovery. So what I did was deal with Meetup. I tried their APIs, but they've shut them down a little bit. So I just went straight into the requests that go back and forth from the web page. And what I'm doing here is pulling all the groups within a 25-mile radius of the center of Tampa. And from that, I can pull down the group names and the group descriptions. And maybe next slide, because then from that we could do NLP on the group descriptions. Here's just a word cloud to show, yes, I did it. So this is just really the first page in Meetup, but then deal with pagination or whatever. So you see group is like the most common word in group descriptions, no surprise. And if you dig down there and you see like Linux, they're really tiny. And then the idea would be, we're gonna have to have a subscription service of some kind, but then sponsors might be able to use this to find the kinds of groups that they want to sponsor. And our app itself helps match what the sponsor's offering and what the groups need. So describe that more.
So, and that is one of the strengths. We did not have time really to develop it out, but Mike is a data scientist, and so we were hoping that we could use data science to really help hone in on matching those groups and organizations. And then do you want to do the demo?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, while you're getting that up. And of course, once you're swiping left and right, and you have a profile set up, the app could learn what you're swiping right on and left on, and basically learn a recommendation system to start presenting you with more, the recommendation should get better and better as it learns the particular user.
Your sponsor soulmate, so to speak.
Yes, there you go. Thank you.
Right, jeez. So I think I can project. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. So, do we need that for, all right. So, God, it's so loud. So I built this using Flutter, and specifically in a UI builder called Flutter Flow. Obviously, I'm not a user interface person, generally speaking, but this was putting out the initial core logic. So let's say if we were to.
Sorry, Oliver, it's time.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Well, any
Give
questions?
you another minute, though.
Do
Well,
a quick login and just show it.
Yeah, just-
Show the swipe right, swipe left.
okay. Oops, wait, I already have one. Let me just go to it. So, and then we'll go log in here. We'll sign in. All right, so imagine that there's a Microsoft image here. I didn't have time to do the non-hard coding. I was like, okay, so now we've matched with Microsoft, or we don't want to go with Microsoft because we don't really share the same kind of interests. But I do like Adidas, and whoa, okay, great, we matched now. We matched on these criteria, and based off of that, we would do some additional routing and go through some extra screens. But
And you'd be able to send out like a call using Jambonz or an SMS text, but
Yeah.
that was the concept. And this is that would be the new look of finding a sponsor.
Nice work, everybody. Okay, so questions from the audience here? Any questions? Any hands? All right.
Oh, have one?
So is it location filtered at all, or is it like a sponsor for any, I guess, geographical radius?
Yes, we would have a filter, so you could do it anywhere from like 10 miles of a certain radius or zip code to 25. You can do nationwide. That would be the ultimate, being able to filter along those lines. Yep.
All right. Any other questions? One in the back.
So, how do you pay? So, how are sponsors onboarded? Because sponsors usually you have to like go and persuade them and do salesmanship to get them to sponsor. So, how would you get sponsors to be on that?
Well, we can market it to major companies and be like, this is an app to easily find local groups, because sometimes finding local groups, they're not as accessible as like someone who does a race series all the time that's major. But also it helps if you are just starting up like a food company or a food truck, and you need to you want to get your name out there. Well, here you have a list of groups that are looking for someone to be their food vendor or their food